Imagine running a business where your customers line up every day, but the nearest bank is hours away. Payments fail, cash is scarce, transfers are delayed. For millions of small business owners across Nigeria, this wasn't just inconvenient, it was a barrier to growth. Then a company most people had never heard of started changing that. Not by building skyscrapers, not by opening thousands of bank branches, but by placing simple payment terminals in the hands of ordinary people. Today, Moniepoint processes billions of dollars in transactions, serves millions of customers, and has become one of Africa's most valuable fintech companies. Yet outside the business world, few people know how it got there. At this point, it's easy to look at Moniepoint as a billion-dollar success story, but success has a way of hiding the uncertainty, the setbacks, and the difficult decisions that came before it. To understand why Moniepoint succeeded where so many startups failed, we need to hear directly from the man who built it. Here's founder and CEO Tosin Eniolorunda in his own words.
In the very, very early days of Moniepoint, after I think month 1 or 2 of launch, I realized that we had a platform error that was making us lose money. You should understand that those were early beginnings, and imagine a small company losing up to 250 million in 3 weeks. It's like death. It was a very, very, very painful moment for me because I knew what it meant. My business was not in the best shape, and I was causing problems for other people's businesses. For even many of our staff, it was one of the worst moments also. Our head of sales, who was responsible also in a way for reconciliation, in fact, had to resign after because the stress was too much. But then again, that's when I saw the resilience of the team.
Let's hear directly from Felix Ike, co-founder, in his own words.
In 2015, at the time, we were called Teamapt, and we were primarily building solutions for banks, automating their back-end processes, settlement, reconciliation, disputes, and for some banks we helped build their digital banking platforms, the mobile and the web. We did that for I think about 3 years, and in those 3 years we were able to capture, I would say, 90% of the banks in Nigeria, right? While we were doing that, we saw another opportunity to capture the underserved and underbanked population in Nigeria. And this was a time when we pivoted. I think this was around 2018. And the first product we built was an agency banking platform called Moniepoint, right? Agency banking is a banking model where you have human agents you could have them at street corners, providing banking services using POS terminals. So people can walk up to them and carry out financial transactions. The goal we had at the back of our mind then was to make banking available to people regardless of where they are in Nigeria, right? Even if you're in a very remote village, we wanted you to have access to a very reliable banking service and also a very reliable customer service. These were the two things we had at the back of our minds when we built the product.
This is the story of how Moniepoint quietly built a billion-dollar banking empire. For years, banking in Nigeria was difficult for many people. Long queues, unreliable digital services, limited access in rural communities, and the high cost of serving small businesses created a huge gap between banks and everyday entrepreneurs. While traditional banks focused on large corporate customers and urban centers, millions of market traders, shop owners, pharmacies, and small retailers still struggled with basic financial services. That gap represented one of Africa's biggest business opportunities. Moniepoint didn't begin as the household name it is today. The company started as Teamapt, a technology company building software for banks. Instead of competing with banks, it helped improve the systems they relied on. Over time, the founders recognized a bigger opportunity. Rather than staying behind the scenes, they could build financial products directly for businesses that were being overlooked. This shift transformed the company. Instead of simply providing technology, Teamapt began creating solutions that helped businesses accept payments, manage money, and operate more efficiently. Eventually, the company rebranded to Moniepoint, reflecting its focus on accessible financial services. Many startups chased consumers. Moniepoint chose small businesses. It supplied payment terminals to merchants and agents across Nigeria, enabling them to accept electronic payments, transfer money, pay bills, and provide cash withdrawal services. This strategy created a powerful network effect. As more businesses joined the platform, more customers used its services. As more customers used it, more businesses wanted to join. Growth accelerated. Technology alone wasn't enough. People needed reliable service. Moniepoint invested heavily in customer support, transaction reliability, and agent relationships. For a shop owner, a payment failure can mean losing a sale. By focusing on dependable service, Moniepoint earned the trust of merchants who relied on it every day. That trust became one of its strongest competitive advantages. As digital payments became more common, Moniepoint expanded beyond payment terminals. The company introduced business banking, working capital loans, expense management tools, and other financial services tailored to entrepreneurs. Instead of offering isolated products, it built an ecosystem where businesses could handle much of their financial activity in one place. This broadened its appeal and strengthened customer loyalty. Investors began to notice. Funding rounds from international investors helped fuel expansion, product development, and hiring. Moniepoint achieved unicorn status, joining a small group of African startups valued at over $1 billion. It became a symbol of how African companies can build globally significant businesses by solving local problems. Success doesn't guarantee an easy future. Competition in African fintech is intense. Companies such as Flutterwave, Interswitch, Pompey, Opay, and others continue to compete for merchants and consumers. Regulation is also evolving, requiring fintech companies to adapt while maintaining compliance and customer trust. As Moniepoint expands into new markets, it will need to balance rapid growth with operational excellence. Moniepoint's story isn't just about technology. It's about identifying a problem that millions of people faced every day and building a business around solving it. By focusing on underserved entrepreneurs instead of chasing headlines, the company created one of Africa's biggest fintech success stories. Whether Moniepoint becomes Africa's dominant digital bank remains to be seen. But one thing is already clear. Some of the biggest companies aren't built by making the loudest noise. They're built by quietly solving the biggest problems. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which African business story I should cover next.